All right, everybody. You know what? I'm just thinking right now. I'm just thinking, and I'm not polemicizing at all. Um, I don't stand by anything that I'm about to say. No, I don't. Nor ever, because it's all about critical thinking. I could be wrong. I don't care. Someone may make fun of me, but they're really just demeaning themselves, um, or just playing around, whatever. Um, But yeah, no. Here's what it is. Okay, let's start out with Abraham. So it was Abraham, but he had like what, 100, 200, 300 men with him, and what this was this. It was a self-contained community, right? It was a self-contained community, and what that means is that you had some of these guys were shepherds. Some of them were leather workers. Some of them were this. There was an accountant, I think, from Phoenicia, maybe. Um, Now Abraham was able to find all the best men. So this was a badass fucking little community, right? It was just this badass fucking small little community. But I mean, you had cloth workers there that could have that could make blankets and clothes. So it was this tiny, self-contained civilization, where they could have prosperity amongst themselves. That's how I see this arrangement. Correct me if I'm wrong, but then I at one point in time I learned about this scientific experiment, and according to the scientific experiment, it says that you can only really have um, you can only really have relationships. Like any individual out there can only truly have relationships with about a hundred or 200 people. Like just a small amount. Like that's, in other words, that's like if this experiment is true, then that's what's real to us. I mean, we talk about tribe. There is such a thing. And I'm not knocking tribes here. But you talk about tribe, but what's most real to any person out there is their immediate surroundings, you know? Um, and everything else just becomes like today we say echo chamber. It just becomes just so idealistic. Becomes so abstract, like, and there is something that is not abstract about a tribe, because you have a whole group of communities that can communicate with each other. um um. Anyways, so like right now, I was just thinking about underground living. I think I might want to write a book about underground. Um, Sounds fun. I had some inspiration for it a few weeks ago, and I was like, oh, that might be fun. Because I think it's a very pertinent subject. But I think I could have a lot of fun writing it. Because I think I got a style in mind that I'm gonna go for. Different style than the book I just wrote. Well, I think there are times where I don't know, but no. So I was thinking about underground living, and then this thing of Abraham popped into my mind, and I was like, well, if you're living underground, you could do that. You could have a small community, and yet you could have couches, you could have computers, you could have robots, you could have vehicles. You need mechanics that know vehicles. It's about getting the and it's like we have a lot more craft in our day. We have a lot more craft in our day. I was like, yeah, no, you could fucking do that. You could have this small self-contained community, right? And I think this is where the writings of Moses come in, like, very important, because with Abraham, like, not only were these very talented craftsmen, but they were also good men and women. Like, you saw his story with Lot. He's just like, it's like one of the constant themes of the Bible is to purify your household. All this dynasty bullshit and blood and DNA bullshit has nothing to do with the books of Moses. It's all about the heart. And if one of your DNA family is a murderer, then they are not your family, right? Because you love God first, right? So I mean, I'm talking about like, not only purify it. So it worked for Abraham because he only went out to seek out men with good hearts and women. You know, I'm just talking philosophically here in the English language. But anyways, that was an aside. That was a total fucking aside that just popped out. But here's like I was thinking about that underground stuff, and then but then I started thinking about something new and different, right? And this is and I like new and different ideas, So I'm not promoting this idea. I'm not, I don't know. I'm all about the evidence, and reason and logic. But I mean, we talk about how we should structure our civilization. Should it be a democracy? Should it be a republic? Should it be a theocracy? But all of these are state organized realities, right? So they're all the same. They're all the same. They're all state organized realities. But like, you could conceive possibly of a society, of a world, or a society, or whatever, that operates on the basis of these self-contained tribes, right? I mean, you need a beer maker, unless your tribe is against drinking alcohol. But I say your tribe in a smaller sense. Like, that's the most real thing to you. It's like, I'm American. I love America, but I don't know 300 fucking million people. um, it's like, at some point it becomes stupid and silly, and you could conceive of a society that operates through these self-contained communities, and there would still need to be laws that everybody follows. Wars would be smaller. Well, possibly not. Possibly not. That's why this is interesting, I think, because it's a new way to conceive of human interaction, and not necessarily that it's right, like I'm saying, but it's still interesting, I think. Um, and I think that's it.